Hello and welcome to Season 4 of On the Road With, a show where we talk to touring professionals from the entertainment and performing arts worlds. My name's Gareth and I'll be your host, and if you'd like to catch up on the first 3 seasons and indeed the start of Season 4, you can do that wherever you get your podcast fix. You can also follow me on social media. It's Gareth John Music on all social media channels, and my YouTube channel of the same name as well, which has all the episodes on there as well. You can stream all the commercially available music from the show on the On the Road With featured songs playlist. Now, my guest today is none other than prolific soul singer and songwriter Mr. Myles Sanko. I've been a fan of Myles' music for a number of years, so it was great to catch up with him around the current crisis facing artists and musicians and how we've handled it, the looming threat of Brexit, the career goals he's set himself, and many, many other things. We also played Rainbow in Your Cloud, Myles' latest single, among other music that he's released. Just a quick heads up on this one, the sound does pop from time to time, and I think that's mainly down to reception as we were talking remotely, obviously. Please do bear with it to the end. It goes after a little while, and I'm sure you'll enjoy it as much as I did. Myles, thanks for doing this.
It's a great pleasure. It's a pleasure to be doing this. I appreciate it.
No worries at all. Yeah, good to speak to you. I wanted to talk about your latest single, really. First of all, just to start off with the latest thing you've done. And I've played it on the radio a couple of times now, and we'll be playing it in future as well. It's a nice kind of upbeat number. Just talk to us a little bit about the writing of that and the sentiment behind it and why you released it now.
Well, my latest single is the second single, my second single, sort of highlighting my new album that's going to be released in March, the 12th of March to be exact.
Next year. Yeah.
Of next year. There's a few more singles to come before then. But this song is Rainbow in Your Cloud. And this song is about, the title itself kind of explains everything. You know, a cloud is normally gray and dark. And within that cloud, there's a light-filled rainbow. And the song basically says, highlighting that in the darker days, there's always a rainbow within that dark cloud that you can kind of rely on, and also points to love, knowing that you found love, and you want the world to know about it. You want the world to know that deep inside that dark cloud there is a beautiful, colorful rainbow. That's what the song is about.
So it's quite an apt title for the times, really, with some of the stuff that people are going through at the moment. I guess it was quite a nice one to release at this time for you, I guess.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, the song has been received very, very well. It's spent 4 weeks on the B list on the on Jazz FM. It's been played on BBC Radio 2. It's just, the love has just been out of this world, which is great. And I guess fans as well have been, they do message me. I'm very interactive with my fans, and they do say this song is just right. It's kind of giving them some joy and some hope, especially in the current times.
Not the rain to build rainbows out of gold. It takes lots of love, not pain, to find peace in your heart and your soul. Hey, so hold it high for all to see. It just comes come true if you believe. There's a rainbow in your cloud. Now that love's made a start. Let everybody know. There's a rainbow in your cloud. There's a rainbow in your cloud. Let everybody know. Let everybody know. Yeah. Right on, brother. Right on. Yeah. All right. It might feel like the storms won't clear, and your dreams won't go nowhere. There's a rainbow in your cloud. Now that love's not so far. Let everybody know. There's a rainbow in your cloud. There's a rainbow in your cloud. Let everybody know. Let everybody know. There's a rainbow in every cloud. Oh, let everybody know. Let everybody know. Yeah.
For me, it was quite reminiscent of Forever Dreaming, which was the first song of yours that I heard.
Yeah.
So I was in Stone Foundation for a while, for a couple of years, and we were kind of on similar circuits. We were doing similar things. So obviously,
Yeah.
when we were traveling around places, we'd listen to the likes of yourself, Smooth and Terrell, Hannah Williams, and the Affirmations,
Yeah.
all those kind of British soul and funk bands that were sort of up and coming at that time. And Forever Dreaming was played in the van. And I remember saying, "Who's this?" And they said, "Oh, yeah, it's Myles Sanko." And I think at the time you were supporting Gregory Porter on a few shows.
With Forever Dreaming, yes.
Yeah.
At that point.
So just talk to us a little bit about, because it's a similar sentiment song. And there's some footage I saw on YouTube of you. I think you're in Germany and you get the crowd singing, "I believe in you," singing along with
Yeah.
you. And then the other half of the crowd singing "Forever Dreaming." And it's quite a nice kind of moment where people's kind of guards come down. And do you get that a lot of your shows where people just kind of relax and everyone's kind of together in that moment?
Yeah, I mean, my main mission, when I'm on stage, and to close my show, to leave stage, and to know that the audience have completely relaxed, because it's kind of a beautiful thing and an amazing thing that you get, thousands of people in the room at the same time, and nobody really knows each other's. There'll be couples, groups, and so on, but just in general, everybody's there for one thing, and that's for the music and to experience that moment. And my job is to try and break that barrier of people not feeling connected to one another. And the one thing that can really bring people together is to ask them to sing along, and to sing together, and that brings everybody together. So it doesn't matter, what class you are, or who you think you are, or or whatever it is. We're all here together for one thing, and that's something that should be celebrated in itself.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
And that's what I try to get across from every single show. Yeah, I've got songs that I want to sing and everything else. Okay, that doesn't really matter. It's about us being here together. That's what's special about this moment. So every second I get, every moment I get to to get my audience to sing together, I jump at the opportunity and I go for it, and they appreciate it. And after singing together, everybody's just so relaxed. They realize I made a fool out of myself because I didn't sing this. I wasn't sure what Myles wanted me to do. They look next to them and they see that the next person also was just letting go 110%, completely, and then they it gets infectious and so on. So I do that at every concert.
Yeah.
And like you said, "Forever Dreamin'" was one of the first songs you heard from me, and I do sing about hope. The song, my songs might start, look and maybe sound negative or a dark song, but at the end of it, it always has to have a glimmer of hope. I'm in the business of selling hope. That's what I like to say.
That's a nice. I like that. I like that. That's quite a good quote, actually. In the business of selling hope, yeah. And I think it's something that's never going to go out of fashion as well. If you look at it as I know it's not a product, but
Absolutely,
hope is never going to be unfashionable, is it? Everyone needs it from time to time.
Everybody needs it, and if we're hopeful, we can achieve things and we can do things, and forever dreaming is like, I'm forever dreaming, and the purpose to go out there and make my dreams come true, and to believe in myself. So, the lyrics, you were singing those lyrics just a second ago, I believe in you and you believe in me. So it's believing in yourself and believing in somebody's dream and helping them achieve that dream. So there are quite strong words, and I think my you look at my back catalog and my songs, I tend to write that way, and that my fans appreciate it, and that's my product. If you don't, if we want to say, that's what I do, and I guess people gravitate towards me because that's what they're going to get from me.
Sure.
And that's the kind of, I guess, the Myles Sanko. It could evolve, it could change, but right now this is how I'm doing it. This is how I do it.
That's the core. That's the core of it, isn't it? And I think I didn't mean to sing your own song back at you, by the way, but
no, it's all good.
Because it's just a catchy lyric that's stuck in my head since. It's quite a testament, actually, because that was a good number of years ago. I think I heard it in 2014, 2015, something like that.
Yeah, album came out mid 2014. So so we're looking at some time now.
Yeah,
some years have passed. That's for sure.
Make believe I'm blind and think that everything will be fine now. So I choose to hope for wrong. Daddy, catch me if I fall now. Circumstances are nothing new. My dreams can come true. Could this be one of those days that I need to embrace now? I believe in you. So I keep on dreaming. I believe in me, yeah. So I keep on dreaming. I'm a mother's one and only son, and look how far I have come now. Didn't know one's in others grief, but still full of soul. Oh yes, indeed. Now, thank you for the gift of life and the luxury of love. Without much wanting, no surprise now. To my dreams I sacrifice, yeah. I believe in you, alright. So I keep on dreaming. I believe in me, oh now. So I keep on dreaming, dreaming. I believe in you, so I keep on dreaming, yeah. Alright, I believe in me, yeah. So I keep on dreaming on now. Yeah. When I dream of love, yes I do, yes I do. Well, I dream to fly up in the sky. Yeah. Well, I dream of you. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Oh, that I can't wait. That I can't wait. That I can't wait. No, 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 no. I dream of being with you now, baby. I dream to smile forever, yeah. I dream to keep on dreaming. How so why can't I? Yeah. I believe in you, yeah. So I keep on dreaming, yeah. I believe in me now, now. So I keep on dreaming. I believe in you, so I keep on dreaming, yeah. Alright, I believe in me, yeah, 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 yeah. So I keep on dreaming on that. Forever dreaming, yes I am. Alright, forever dreaming, yes I am. Alright, forever dreaming, yes I am. Forever dreaming, yes I am. Now. Oh, yeah. I dream forever.
Times have really changed, haven't they? I mean, you know, you look at some of the shows that that we, us as entertainers and as singers used to do, and you know, look at some of the. I know you've done some in those kind of sit-down amphitheatre type things,
Yeah.
you know, across the continent, and that's the stuff dreams are made of for us at the minute because it, you know, it's there's not a clear map to when all that's going to come back, is there?
No, there absolutely isn't. I mean, I'm in touch with my agents, you know, pretty much on the weekly basis, in regards to what's going on, uh, and um, and yeah, different. You know, the thing is, there's no one global answer to the pandemic. You know, into regards to you know to what's happening,
Yeah,
and especially in our industry that's been affected quite heavily. I mean, to be honest, you know, we can still go to the stores and buy bread, you know,
yeah,
and buy milk. So the farmer's still doing his thing. The
yeah,
storekeeper
yeah,
still go to his job.
yeah,
You know, I can get on a bus and take a bus and you know go downtown. I can get a train. I can even get a flight if I want to get a flight. So it seems like the rest of the world is finding a way to still live
yeah. Keep moving. Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah,
keep moving. Yeah, live music is you know it's a piece of what we do. Yes, I still have fans listening to my music. The radio station is still playing my music. My fans are downloading my music. My music has been still being sold. So there's still an aspect of my life that is you know of my work that is still moving forward, if you know what I mean. But
yeah,
a
yeah.
big part of what we do, you know, and I write music so I can sing it on stage.
Of course, yeah,
That's
yeah.
that's the purpose.
That's
I
the
write
that's the buzz, isn't it? As well, that's the buzz when you
that
get
is
out and
that is
sing
the
in front
best.
of people. You know.
Absolutely, because you get to connect with you know get to connect with other human beings, and those songs become something else because
Mm.
you get instant feedback, and they mean what they meant to you becomes something else to somebody else, and you get that feedback, and the songs take a whole different what's the word I'm looking for,
Whole
a whole
different,
different meaning.
like yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. Whole
a
different
whole
purpose.
different,
Yeah,
a
yeah.
whole different, absolutely, and become something else. And whilst you're on stage, like myself personally, I like to change things. So from show to show, I would change things, and the song actually changes after 3 years. You know, it starts differently and ends differently, and we
And you
add in
can
a new
extend,
middle
you can
eight.
extend bits and
We
things like that, can't
extend
you?
it, yeah,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know, because the audience wants it, and it felt good at the time. So the song then becomes something, you know, changes from you know from the recorded version. So yeah, the whole world is finding ways to still do what they do. But for us, I guess it's things have definitely changed, and I don't know when things are gonna get back to normal. And there's the back catalog of shows that were canceled in last
Yeah,
year.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I was in the tail end of my previous release, just being me. So
Mm.
things were quieting down anyway before the new album was going to come out. So this was going to be the new album that was going to come out, and we're going to supposed to pick up again. So when everyone was booking their shows for their last releases, mine was coming to an end. So mine is restarting again, but starting in a time where everything is already backlogged. So good
Yeah,
Lord.
yeah, yeah. It's
um,
tricky. I mean, you look at the diary and stuff, and you get that problem where. So I take one of the bands that I tour with now. We had a load of shows in March. We were right in the middle of them when everything got locked down and they were all cancelled. I remember we had 4 shows in a week, and it was the first week of lockdown, all gone.
yeah,
And they were all pushed back to October, November. But we already had shows booked then. So
yeah.
then the October, November shows have been pushed back to the following year. Then the October, November new shows, if that makes sense, they then got it's just a messy thing. They keep
Yeah.
getting pushed back and pushed back because there's so much uncertainty.
Absolutely, absolutely, and you can imagine some of the venues that decided to push things back are probably closed and
Yeah, yeah, gone out of
might
business.
be
Yeah,
shut
yeah,
out of business when the time comes, the crunch time comes to actually looking at exactly what's going to happen. And then you have the bigger names in our genre that already booked shows, and they can sell more tickets than the next man. That this is business. Okay, let's talk about the business side of things.
yeah, yeah,
If you're a venue that appreciates music, and regardless of how many tickets that can be sold, this is good music, and an audience needs to see, my audience needs to see this,
yeah, yeah,
hear this. So we're going to book this act, even though they can fill up the room 50% capacity. So we're going
mm,
to go, it's part of the business. But if this venue reopens after a whole year of being closed, they're just going to focus on the 100% sales,
of
if
course they are.
anything.
Yeah, and you can't really
You
blame
know,
them, can you?
no, this it is about survival, and so on, and basically that's what's going to happen for the next 2 years. We're the in between acts, like not the big names, not the smaller names. Smaller names are fine because they're smaller venues, and if those venues are still open, and when I say smaller names, I'm just talking about in regards to pulling capacity,
Yeah,
ticket sales.
yeah,
That's all
ticket
I'm
sales.
talking about.
Yeah,
Nothing else. I'm talking about music, music quality or nothing. We're just talking about business right here.
mm,
And so if you're kind of on in between those two sections, you're almost kind of lost,
yeah,
because you get muscled out by the bigger names. And so you know I'm just sort of uh, what's the word I'm looking for here again? I'm lost for words today. Speculating.
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
just speculating
That
right
word will
now,
do. That
but
word will do.
that word will do. I'm just kind of speculating right now in regards to what it might look like. But all my agents are saying 2022. Uh,
Really, right?
but
Okay. Mm.
2022, and we are struggling to try and fit all the cancellations and so on. And my shows have been moved to 2020. Some of my shows have been moved to 2021 already, and
Yeah,
even some have been canceled because they're not sure how it's going to pan out, and so on and so on. So for live music, it's going to be interesting. Yeah. But we still have music. People still love music. I still got my album to come out, so people can enjoy that. And I'll try to stay alive till things get back to normal, if it
yeah.
ever does.
Well, that's it. That's it. Absolutely. I mean, I wanted to pick up on a couple of things you said there. One was about changing the songs when you are out live, and
Yeah,
you're changing the songs to suit different gigs and trying to make a mental note of what felt good last time. And sometimes things do just happen, don't they? As well, especially if I
yeah,
mean, you look like you've got a very versatile, flexible band. And I think
yeah.
that makes a big difference. Some musicians are very wedded to, well, I'll play what's written in front of me and all that. Your guys don't really seem like that. They seem like they'll go with the flow. And that's great for you as a singer. It gives you loads of scope.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I mean, I come from a background where my first band was a freeform, freestyle, improvised band.
Right.
So I cut my teeth for a good how many years? From 2000, technically 2007 right up to 2010, 2013. So for a good maybe 4.5 years
Yeah.
from just improvising, and so I'm used to that environment where you turn up to to a gig and you don't know what you're going to play. You're just going to look at the audience and you're just going to start doing something.
Yeah.
And then you're going to make it happen. So I come from that background. Anyway, so for me, I'm very comfortable with changing things and just improvising, And my musicians are, are relatively jazz musicians. So, improvising is not a problem. And they expect that from me anyway, to change things and to follow my lead. When things kind of feel right. So things happen by chance, and they just feel right because I'm allowing myself the room to make a change, and then that change happens and it feels right. Sometimes you make some changes, and it doesn't feel right, and you just forget about it, and you just focus on the ones that that work.
Yeah.
And when it works, it feels right, and it feels so good because it's spontaneous and it's real. If you know what I mean, it's not forced.
It's genuine, isn't it? Yeah, and
it's genuine, and that stays and becomes. It doesn't matter which stage you're on.
Yeah.
It will still have the same effect. If you know what I mean.
But there are some changes though, especially like you do some sit down gigs, theatre type gigs.
Yeah.
And then you do some that are maybe a bit more rowdy, and a bit more kind of pub is the wrong word, but standing venue kind of thing, and obviously festivals. And I think there are some things that I know from experience. There are some things you put in. So something felt good one night, you keep it in the set, and then you put it in on a theatre show the next night, and it's like, oh, actually that worked the previous night because it was that type of gig, but actually it's not. No, that's not going to fly in the theatres. You know what I mean? There are some changes where you think, oh, actually,
absolutely. I call it the art of writing a set list.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. It is an art. It is an art. Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. You have to kind of preempt before you arrive, at a venue to. But if you get it right, which I believe I got it right, towards before before the end, if I can call it the end, because if I don't ever do any other show, this will be the end.
Don't say that. Don't say that.
Let's call it the end. The last show I did was in January, which was a really good one, which was fantastic. So if that was the last show that I ever do, then at least I went out with a bang.
Yeah.
But I slowly went from a dancing audience to sort of an auditorium audience.
It's very different, isn't it? Very different ball game.
Absolutely, and that took a little while to because the bigger rooms tend to be auditorium, and when you start affiliating yourself with different agents and so on, and different circles, different venues lend themselves for so on and so on. So the last show I actually did was in Luxembourg at the Luxembourg Philharmonie.
Wow.
With a 100-piece orchestra.
Wow.
And that show was recorded and filmed for my next live album. So that was an amazing experience. So and that's a seated audience, and I'm doing songs from my 3 albums.
Yeah, you're doing a bit of a cross section. Yeah.
Cross section, and I think I'm not scared of a seated room because you can always still inject that energy into the seated room. Because most of the time, when you think you don't let the room, what's the word?
You don't let the room dominate you, sort of thing. Don't let the room decide what you're going to do.
Absolutely. There you go. Even though people, most of the time when people sat in a room and in chairs, they're comfortable. It's great. It's all good. Yeah. But their toes are tapping, their fingers are tapping. They want to get up and sing and dance. So you have to try and get them to that place. And that's what I try to do. We start seated. We give you a nice ballad, and we slowly work our way. And everybody can stand up in front of the seats. And most of the time, by the time the show's over, we're stood in front of the seats, and we're singing and dancing. And it's a slightly different vibe from a complete standing room. Yeah. Where you can really get down if you want to. But I guess. Picking the right songs
is crucial
to play.
Crucial.
It's crucial. It's absolutely crucial. But also not letting the room, sort of dictate on what, how
that's
the show
word.
Should go.
Dictate. That's the one. Dictate. Don't let the room dictate what you're going to do. Yeah, I said dominate, but yeah, dictate is the one.
And you could play whatever you want to play in any room, so long as you're confident enough to execute it, I think.
Yeah, confidence is a massive part of performance. I mean, I teach vocals locally here, and I'm not the most knowledgeable technically. I'll be the first to admit that with singing. And
Okay.
I do know the basics and the physicality, but one thing I can get out of people, I like to think, is a performance, and I think that's
Yeah.
absolutely crucial. And all of my heroes, I'm sure you're similar, is all of my heroes are big time performers, and they
Performance,
also
yeah.
know how to pick the songs. I think Gregory Porter is a great example of that in his live shows. He knows how to what to pick when, and how
Yeah.
to execute it as well. I think it's
Yeah.
really key. It's an underrated part of being a performer, I think.
Absolutely. I mean, for me, yeah, for me, it's performance, performance. I think that performance comes first, and
Yeah.
then you carry the song. That's it for me, basically. And my heroes, like you said, are all performance. You get on stage and you are performing to an audience. You're charismatic. You're bringing them in. You're drawing them in. With the performance and the songs. The song is the next thing that gels everything together.
Yeah, it's the glue,
And
isn't
being
it?
confident. Yeah, absolutely. And being confident enough to execute both is always a great thing. I don't stand in front of a mic and just sing my songs. That's
Yeah.
not what I do.
Yeah.
Even if I tried, I wouldn't be able to because
Yeah.
I'll be spinning around or moving, or dancing to the music, and that becomes infectious, and then the audience feels that energy, and they don't want to sit down any longer,
Yeah.
and they want to do what you're doing on stage as well, and how you're feeling.
Yeah,
That's
it definitely reflects onto them, and I think also appearance is a big part of that. For your appearance as an entertainer is a big part of that. I remember one of my heroes was saying in an interview that he wears a suit to show respect to his audience, and I think that's really
Okay.
important that you look the part as well. And again, all of my heroes, they don't go on in jeans and a t-shirt. They really make an effort, and I think that's again an underrated part of being a performer. You've got to look the part.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I mean, ultimately, you could wear whatever you want to wear. You could be naked on stage if you wanted to be naked on stage, But we get inspired by our heroes, and then when it comes to soul music. Soul music was entertainment.
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
showbiz.
Oh,
And
massively,
in
yeah.
showbiz, you got to look good, you got to feel good, you got to and so on, and that so we kind of carry that. It was interesting to hear what you said about this other performer you're talking about.
Mm.
But for me, when I dress good and I look good, I feel good.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And when I feel good, I can then transmit that good feeling as well.
Yeah.
Through the music. So it's like wearing your Sunday best
Yeah.
all the time. So you look good, you feel good, you look yourself in the mirror, and you're like, yeah, you look good. You're ready for this.
Yeah, yeah.
That kind of thing. But ultimately, you could wear whatever you want to wear, so long as you feel good.
Yeah.
And you can transmit that energy.
I think it's a balance between feeling good yourself and also looking like you want to be there and you've made an effort for the people. I think that's
Absolutely.
that's a big part. But you can have your own style within that. Not everybody has to dress the same, obviously.
True.
But you look at that old footage. I mean, when you said about soul music being pure showbiz, it's so true. I was watching the other day for the millionth time the Sam and Dave doing it. Hold on, I'm coming.
Yeah.
With
Great.
their band, and it's
absolutely on the Sax tour.
That's right. Yeah. And it's just
That's great.
dynamite. It's absolute dynamite, and the showmanship between them. And it was at a time when they didn't really get on as well because they had quite a checkered history. It was the showbiz between them. The showmanship was unbelievable. It really was. And I don't think you see an awful lot of that these days in terms of mainstream music.
No, not really. I mean, there's the Bruno Mars and there's the
Yeah.
Justin Timberlake and there's artists like that really really do showbiz really well.
Yeah.
They're there, but maybe you'd have to. Yeah, I mean, no, you'd have to go to a show to really appreciate. But they go 100 miles. There's the Beyonce.
She puts on
show
a show.
showbiz.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess maybe in our soul genre. Maybe less people, just kind of take it a bit easier, in regards to singing and dancing and really giving a show alongside the music.
Yeah.
It still happens, for sure. But it's slightly different from back in the day, that's for sure.
I mean, I'm a firm believer that if you do if you do that, whether you're up there and you're Justin Timberlake or Bruno Mars is a great example as well, or whether you're up there or you're just starting out, I think if you do that and you put a lot of thought and planning into the execution of your show, I think you will go as far as you can. If you take that approach, if you see the show as important and it not just about the songs.
Yeah, absolutely. It's all about, I guess, effort. The amount of effort you put in is the amount of, what you're going to get back out.
True. And the other thing I wanted to pick up on, and I can't remember the actual numbers you put, but I saw in a Facebook post recently, you very publicly set yourself a goal of a number of albums you wanted to record by a certain date.
Oh.
And I thought, I thought that's a really impressive goal, and I thought, and B, if I'm honest, I thought you were quite brave putting that publicly because you've really set your stall out there as well. So just talk to us a little bit about that and remind me of the numbers as well. I should have looked that up before we started recording.
Yeah, so it's a 30-year project.
Wow.
2 albums, 1 album every 2 years.
Yeah,
making it 15, and that should see me through till I'm 60 something.
And hopefully you can retire into your mansion in the mountains.
I've already done that. I've already got the mansion in the mountains. I haven't retired yet.
Yeah. You're loving it. You're loving it too much to retire yet.
No, it's 15 albums. Basically, I give what I try to do is to set myself a goal. And you said I've made it publicly. Whether I make it publicly or not, it doesn't matter. That goal still stands. Unless something drastically happens to my life that stops me from creating music, then that would change the course. But I think setting that long-term goal gives you a purpose, and gives you something to focus on. And I've watched some motivational speakers once, and I think it was Arnold Schwarzenegger, I think, talking about his goals, and how he sets his goals and so on. And I think that kind of stuck with me quite a while back. And basically, he was saying, imagine you're an airline flying through the sky, and you go to destination. It doesn't matter what obstacle that's put in front of you. You always know what your destination is, so you can veer off course, but still you always come back to this. So there's a big storm in front of you. To get to your destination, you go around the storm, and then you're back on, and another storm comes, and then whatever happens is rain or whatever. You still have a destination and you have a goal, and you will make it to that goal in the end. But if you don't have a destination, a cloud comes in front of you, you turn left, and you continue left, and you're going left, and you don't know what your goal is. You see what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, the setting of the goal is something that a lot of people don't do actually.
Absolutely. I guess that's the thing. So when I speak to people and so on, and I try to younger musicians, and they want some advice and so on. It's a tough one. I've made my decision, and that's what I'm going to do. I've got 15 albums, and that motivates me and keeps me on track. It doesn't matter what happens in my career, my professional career, in regards to what I achieve. It's no longer about individual albums anymore. It's no longer about anything. It's all about that 15 number, if you see what I mean.
Yeah.
And at the end of the 15, I'll have 15 albums, and yes, that will accumulate a body of work that I could leave behind, that people can enjoy, that I'll hopefully be able to retire on, get a good enough pension to live. I might do more. Who knows? But 15 is what I've given myself, and I said I'm going to put an album out every 2 years. And since my first album, I released my first album in 2013, Born in Black and White. Yeah, I've released officially released out there is 3 albums. Yeah, Forever Dreaming, and then Just Being Me, and then I've got my 4th one coming out, which is Memories of Love. Okay, I need to get out. I need to put out another album to make it 5 in 10 years. So I've got, basically I have to 2023 to put out another album, which is already done because I've got my live album coming out. So I'm. So you're always like that one step ahead. I'm one step, and I've started writing my 6th one already. So I'm sort of ahead of myself and planning things, and and the more you put stuff out, the more you get a chance for people to discover you.
Yeah,
You're gonna
absolutely.
lose fans, and you're gonna gain fans. A lot of
Mm.
fans. What you want to, I guess, what you want to happen is the core fans to stay with you throughout the whole process.
And you
You
will
know,
get some of those, but you're right. There will be other sort of fair weather fans who
yeah,
come and
because
go, and you know.
absolutely we're all human beings, and we're as musicians, we're fans of other musicians.
Mm, mm.
We're fun, and you can think about a prolific artist that's released so many albums, and you are a fan of the artist. This the albums where you don't love,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
don't connect with. The some you connect with, you go. Sometimes you forget about them for 3 years, and then you come back again with another album. So long as they're coming back at you,
yeah,
they keep reminding you that I'm here. I'm still making music that you might like, that might connect with you and make you feel good, and help you solidify a beautiful memory that
mm.
you can have, that you can of some moment in your life or whatever it is. So, and also the industry then goes, this guy doesn't go anywhere.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know
yeah.
he's
That's
he's
important.
he's he's back again with
Mm.
something that I maybe like, maybe I don't like, maybe they might like one album, and most of the time, one song, just one song can what's the word I'm looking for again? One song can summarize an
Yeah,
artist's full artist career. I'm not talking about one hit wonder or whatever it is.
no,
Sometimes you got to put out a lot of material out there, and one song can be the song
it kind
that
of
summarizes.
defines
It
the
define
artist sort of
the
thing.
artist, yeah.
Mm.
If I say very prolific artist is Prince.
Yeah,
Prince put out what 35 albums or something ridiculous like
yeah.
that.
It's
That's
ridiculous. Yeah,
officially
yeah,
released. Yeah, he's a machine. He's unhuman. I mean,
yeah, yeah,
uh, but he's evolving. He evolves with the times because you have to evolve. And if I should say one his biggest song that everybody knows,
mm.
probably Purple Rain.
Yeah,
You might this is just talking about that everybody knows. If I should mention another song of one of his more obscure albums, you probably won't even know
yeah,
that it was Prince or whatever. So it's about the long-term goal, and then you get artists like Michael Jackson, that evolves with
yeah.
time.
Yeah, I think the
um,
best artists do that. I think they and that's what I really respect with artists is the ones who, because I guess the challenge of something like the goal you're setting yourself, not only is there the obvious challenge of it's a lot of work, it's a lot of writing, it's a lot of creativity, it's a lot of time, energy, and money, but
yeah,
it's also keeping it fresh and being able to adapt and change as the world moves on as well, and not just making
absolutely.
the same record over and over again.
Absolutely. I mean, you as a person, you change. The person that I'm still who I am,
Yeah, yeah,
but the person that I was 10 years ago, if you were just to put them right next to me, I'll be looking at him thinking, "What the hell are you doing?" He'd probably
yeah,
be looking at me and thinking, "Who the hell are you? What's going on?"
yeah, yeah.
So at least,
Unrecognizable in some ways. Yeah, yeah,
yeah, at least we have that. All our experiences in life we go through, we can share that in our music, and I guess being creative shouldn't be a chore.
no, no.
Yes, it costs money to put out a record and everything else. That's what you need. That's your business head, and you need to find a way to do that.
Yeah,
But when it comes to being creative, that's free,
yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
you can
Good point.
enjoy that process. And if you've made that your life and your purpose, you find a way to make it happen. Um, you know, it's not always easy, but I'm always thinking about the next album. Once I finish the first one and it's done and it's like it's been mixed and mastered, I'm like, now
Yeah,
I'm already thinking straight away. I'm already thinking about. I get bored of it already. I'm not bored of it, but I'm looking forward to the next one. What can I say? How can I express myself? How can I,
yeah.
what's the production like? Because I do everything, so I get to enjoy all the aspects of it.
Oh, so you're involved in you do the production and stuff as well, as well
I
as
produce,
writing and
yeah. I write, I compose, I produce. Every artwork, videos,
mm,
everything. So it's basically another 2 years of creativity that I embark on, that I can share with my fans and my audience. So it gives me 2 years of fun,
yeah,
creative fun.
yeah,
Yes, there's hardship and and so on and everything else, but at least I get to be creative. I'm being creative in all aspects of what I'm gonna release or what.
yeah.
So that's it.
I mean, it's really important to, if you are doing everything, if you're an independent artist or band like that, and you're doing, you've got, it's a great position to be in, to be in control of all the aspects. But I think it's really important to get a bit of a creative kick out of all of them, whether you're designing artwork, doing a video,
Yeah,
production, composing, songwriting. And I know that that's quite a privileged position to be in compared to some of the massive names, actually, because they literally go in, sing a lot of the time they haven't even written the song themselves. They're just the voice,
yeah,
So I think it's quite a
yeah.
nice position to be in, really.
I mean, absolutely. I mean, there's there's always the flip side to everything.
Well, yeah,
Um,
yeah.
there's always a flip side to everything, but we want to celebrate the positives, which is the fact that you I'm in control. I own my masters.
Yeah,
I choose to put out music that reflects the person that I am, within those 2 years or whatever it is, period of time. This, um, and that's great. And the fact that I can put a piece of my creativity in every single aspect whilst working with great other great musicians around me and people around me. I don't master my own music. I don't mix my own
yeah,
music.
yeah,
I don't play my own guitar. I don't play the drums and so on. So I'm bringing ideas. I'm an ideas guy.
yeah.
Um, you know,
Yeah,
to spark ideas, and the people I've handpicked to be around me help me achieve that, and they believe in my dream, and I believe in them, to help me achieve these goals,
yeah.
to make it happen. It's great. It's sometimes there's days where I wish that, oh, can I just be a musician?
Yeah, I know. Well, that's
And
the thing.
just
It's all
write,
it's all encompassing, and sometimes you think, hang on a minute, I'm being a graphic designer, a video editor, a marketing guy, a composer, a
yeah.
songwriter, a singer, and it's exhausting. It can be really exhausting.
Absolutely, absolutely. But I guess finding the light,
Mm.
but in every of those things,
The rainbow in
even
every cloud, Miles, you might say.
the rainbow in every cloud.
There
You're
you
the
go.
man. If you can find the rainbow in all in the air in every in each of those things, and just focus on those things,
Yeah.
and see what the long term, back
Mm.
to the long term goal, what the reason why you're doing all these little things. Um, it helps you, and it drives you, and it keeps you on course,
Absolutely.
to do your thing.
Yeah, definitely. I'm aware of time, but I've got just a couple more things
Go
I
ahead.
wanted to talk about. One was touring on the continent in Europe. Obviously, we're in
Yeah.
the latter stages of Brexit negotiations now, and the arts has had no attention whatsoever in that. I mean, the fishery industry, which is 6 times smaller than the arts, has had more attention in those negotiations. But without dwelling on that too much, just talk to me about some of your experiences on the continent, because I know you've really travelled a lot, and the difference in audiences, in the venues, and what you think the future might look like in terms of foreign touring, as it were.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. Every day, try to I try to keep an eye on what sort of final law is going to be passed in regards to how we're going to access the continent,
Yeah,
to do shows and gigs and so on. I'm having agents saying you need to get a band in every country.
that's one option,
To
isn't it? Yeah, to get it like a pickup band almost that you can.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a band in every country, because of first thing, when the doors, well, I guess in regards to COVID,
Mm,
when this summer, when restrictions were relaxed a little bit, a few shows came on, and shows
yeah,
that some of the shows that was postponed, like you said, somewhere in March, were postponed to autumn.
mm,
Um, they still, the lockdown restriction, well, the quarantine restrictions were still on. So even if you came in to do just one show, you need to go back in quarantine for 14 days.
yeah. It's not
Um,
practical, is it?
it's no practical, especially depends what you do with around. Okay, me, this is my full-time job. This is what I do. For some of my
Yeah.
musicians, they do other things around touring with me,
Yeah,
and
they've
working with
got
other
other
musicians. Yeah.
other musician jobs as well, and teaching and things
Absolutely,
like that. Yeah, yeah,
absolutely.
yeah.
And if this is going to be the one show I can do this year, just to be together with with my musicians and my friends and an audience and enjoy it, I'll be willing to do this just to experience, because it's been months now. It's coming up to a year since I've been on stage, so I'm kind of having withdrawal symptoms here.
It's like a drug, isn't it? It's like
It's like
somebody
a
it's
drug.
like somebody who needs a drink really badly, or something like, it really just gets you really down, and you kind of
Yeah, absolutely.
climbing the walls.
True, because this is what we do,
Mm.
and if you're used to doing something and it's a positive thing, and there are negatives to it as well,
Mm.
overworking yourself.
Yeah, yeah,
um, and but having, just to get a chance to do a show would be great. So I personally, I'll be willing to quarantine for 14 days just to do that one show,
yeah, yeah.
but not everybody in your in your group is willing to do that, so you have to respect all, everyone. So
You do, you
uh,
do.
agents are like, why don't you, if you had a band in Paris, you can come and do a show in Paris, and you can go home and quarantine for 14 days if if you wanted
Yeah,
to, but then at least your band are in Paris, and then I have to cross the border and deal
yeah,
with, with quarantine regulations and so on. So that's the main thing. But playing across Europe has been fantastic, and I'm grateful to have the opportunity to do so much and to
mm,
place different stages, from when I started off to where I am now, and nothing stays constant,
mm.
and everything moves up and down. Everything moves up and down, and I see like a wave,
Yeah,
and your job is to try and stay like on the top of that wave.
yeah. By whatever
If
means
you're
necessary, sometimes.
yeah, if you're here, so imagine you're a surfer,
Yeah,
and you want to be on the on the peak of the wave, so you can ride it, as but that doesn't always happen. So
yeah,
sometimes you go up and you go down, but the main I guess the main goal is to, along the line, is to try and get close to that peak as much as you can. This is your peak, nobody else's.
yeah, yeah,
To get to that peak as much as you possibly can, and that translates to venues that you play at, people that you work with, audiences, crowds that you get, ticket sales,
yeah.
downloads of, streams, whatever,
Merchandise and all the rest of it. Yeah,
merchandise and
yeah.
everything, and whatever it is, to try and get, to learn from the mistakes,
Mm,
and also learn from the achievements, and so on. And it's a challenge, but the next couple of years, yeah, things are going to change, and we might have to be bottom of the wave and work our way back up. But that's the beauty of it.
yeah,
We get
absolutely.
to we get to work back to where we were and where we want to go, and dream about where we might like to be, and try and hope never to go back to where we were
Yeah, 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 yeah,
when
absolutely.
things weren't great, like right now,
Mm,
um, and so on. But I'm always hopeful. Like I said, I'm in the business of selling hope. So if I don't believe in it myself, then I might as well quit now.
yeah, yeah,
But I think, when live music comes back, which is a big part of our, what we do, it's going to be bigger and it's going to be better. It's going to be bigger and it's going to be better for sure. It's a
yeah,
shame. It's a shame that governments, kind of take, the arts like a secondary, a secondary thing,
I
like you
think
said,
that's being generous, to be honest. So it can. If you look at the net contribution of the arts just in
yeah,
the UK, let alone across Europe, and you look at what Germany have done, for example, just picking an example, a guy I was chatting to on this show, he tours in Germany a lot, he's a blues artist, and he was saying that
yeah,
they had a system in the summer whereby the venues, sorry, had to apply to the government for the amount of gigs they wanted to put on, and if the government sanctioned, say, 3 gigs that month, the government would actually make up any difference so that the venue broke even at least and could
yeah.
survive. And there's nothing like that here. Absolutely, absolutely nothing.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, my experience in playing Germany, France. Let's focus on those, and
Yeah,
also other ones. But like, there is the arts is taken quite seriously, and
yeah,
there's a lot of collective money. When I say collective money, taxpayers. It's part of what we want for a nice,
yeah,
stable society where we can enjoy music and arts and so on. There's a lot of support for that. And even in France, even the venues are still complaining.
yeah,
The
yeah,
agents are still complaining, but they're still in a better position than a lot of venues in the UK and agents and so on. and Germany as well. You know, I have agents in Germany,
Yeah.
I have agents in France and so on. So, I mean, at least that's a good thing. The only issue now would be is, you know, once Brexit happens, and somehow I've kind of almost forgot about Brexit somehow,
Most people
because
have. Yeah.
COVID, you know, it's still there. They're still battling, you know, trying to get this deal through and so on. But when Brexit is going to happen, and when it happens, hopefully it won't impact too much on how we get to access, you know, the rest of Europe.
Yeah.
And not have too many issues with visas and so on. And you know, I like to think music can rise above everything.
Yeah,
Um,
I agree. And I also agree that I think it will be where you've got the double whammy, the double kick really in the private parts for musicians is Brexit and COVID. It's a real double
yeah,
whammy. But I do agree with you. I think it's a very resilient industry. The performing arts in general, not just music, is a very
yeah,
resilient industry. And I think we've bounced back from world wars and economic
absolutely.
depressions before. You
Yeah,
know, there's no reason why we can't this time.
yeah, absolutely. Because you know, people want music. This is the people speaking. You know, it's not,
Yeah,
you know, we're musicians, and yeah, we want to create music, but people want music, and you know, they're gonna get what they want, and we're gonna try and give it to them. Um, so, but it definitely take a while to figure itself out. That's for sure. And for those who can hang in there and not become a plumber.
yeah,
I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with a plumber, because
no,
when you need a plumber, man, you
yeah,
need a plumber. You know, um, but those that can hang, you know, can hang on in there until things, you know, settle. It will look different, that's for sure. I know that 100%. Everything's going to look different. Things are looking different already. You know, people walking around with masks, and you know,
yeah.
we're less sociable.
2 meters apart and
You
no
know,
hugging
yeah,
and all the rest of it. Yeah,
no, yeah, we do that even with people that we know.
yeah,
And I think that, you know, the longer we stay like this, the more it's going to become ingrained into our everyday and the way we do things. And that's gonna change anyway. That's, you know, from a social aspect, and then you have the economical aspect of it, and so on and so on. But it will, when it comes back, it's going to be bigger and better. Let's hope it's not, you know, in 30 years time.
yeah. No, absolutely. Well, you would have
'Cause
you would have finished your albums by then.
I would have finished my albums by then. Yes, you know, I wouldn't have done any gigs, but you know, but I still, you know, I still have my albums out by then. So that's my goals.
Absolutely.
Uh,
Well, Miles, thank you so much for your time. Really, really appreciate it. Let's keep in touch and keep talking, because I really enjoyed that.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining me for this episode of On the Road With. My guest was the great Mr. Myles Sanko, and it was a really great discussion. Enjoyed that immensely. Thank you so much, Myles, for your time. Really, really do appreciate it, and the wide-ranging discussion. So if you like what you're hearing, please do follow us wherever you get your podcast fix. And you can also keep in touch on social media. It's Gareth John Music on all social media platforms. And you can also stream all of the commercially available music on the On the Road With featured songs playlist on Spotify. One last favour as well, if you could also give us a positive, hopefully, rating and review on Apple Podcasts, that would be much appreciated. It really does help. I'm going to play the show out now with one of my favourite Myles Sanko tracks. It's Goodbye Lady, Goodbye. Take care now. Bye-bye.
Come on. I made her cry. Oh yes I did. Well that ain't something that I'm happy